Now, the Eisners. Let's talk about the Eisners because all the nominations came out, and there are two ways of looking at the Eisners. Let me tell you exactly what they are. The Eisners are the biggest award in the comic book industry. You can kind of think of it as the Oscars for the Eisners. There's other awards that happen at other conventions, but this one happens at the big San Diego Comic Con. It's voted on by this group of people that nobody knows who's really contrived, like composed of. But I think there's like comic creators in there. There's comic shop retailers, and comic journalists. I have looked into applying multiple times. I don't know. We don't fall into the journalism category for some reason. But maybe I'll try again this year.
But wait till
Uh,
they see my character work.
yeah, yeah, right. Wait till we introduce this Jeff in there. Does it have a name? Jeff, do you have a name? You still
No, we're
workshopping that?
still, yeah.
Okay,
Leave
got it.
comments. Leave
Leave
comments.
some comments of us to nerds, the Jeff's nerd character there. But the way I like to look at the Eisners is like it's a recommendation list of things you should read that you probably might have missed out on the next year. So we'll talk about that. We'll go through some of these as we kind of we'll just go through some of them. So do you guys have the list pulled up? I'll tell you which category, and then if you want,
Yeah.
we'll take turns reading it. We're not gonna go through every category. There's some really stuff that gets very in the weeds. Like there's a lot of publication for children, and really some stuff that we don't cover in the channel, and we probably wouldn't be aware of anyway, just because of the target age group. There's a lot of academic stuff which Josh might be really into.
Oh, I'm super
So
into.
if there's any standouts, let us know. But I don't know that we'll go in depth covering all those. We're
No,
gonna
that's
kind of
fine.
stick with
I'll
the
certainly
main.
bring them up because I do want to note that is one thing about the Eisners I think is really unique is that for an industry award, and I feel like they started doing this maybe 20 years ago. I could be wrong, but they began incorporating scholarly and academic work in as well, which I think was so important because it bridges um, these two different aspects of the field that are very closely related, right? As somebody kind of tangentially in comic studies, I have not met a single scholar in comic studies who is not a rabid comics fan, like who just reads comics on the regular. All of us do. So
you guys all have rabies?
Yes, which I think is
You
what
know,
makes it
there's
comics. So
I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life, but there's a vaccine for that. You just got to get it early enough.
I refuse to get shots in my stomach. All right, so not happening.
I don't think they do that anymore.
Oh really?
I will
Okay.
say.
Oh shit! I'll go get it.
I think shot technology has improved where you don't have to get them right in the belly button.
Oh, thank God! All right.
Because
now it's right in the neck.
Yeah,
in the eye.
Yeah, it's straight in the ear.
When I was a kid, I got bit by a dog, and I had to get rabies shots.
Oh.
And my big fear was because my older cousin told me, like, they have to shoot, like, they do like a bunch of shots in your stomach, right?
Yeah.
Because I guess that's the way they used to do it. But I never got shots in the stomach, or maybe I never got the rabies vaccine. I don't know. Either way, I haven't died of rabies yet.
Yeah.
So
dodge that bullet.
Well, for now,
maybe you just bit the dog back.
It was a little dog too, and I was just, it was my fault. I teased the dog. Huh?
Was it Crypto?
No, I wish. Maybe I would have gotten superpowers.
Ace. Yeah, Ace looks like a dog that's just gonna bite everyone. So,
but usually those dogs are the ones that don't bite. The more mean looking ones. They really got the rough end of the stick there. But anyways, back to the Eisners. God, this show.
I totally derailed us.
Let's see if this is a good.
That's perfect.
Hold on. I'm trying to figure out the bit. No, that's not a good layout. I think we'll just go with the old. Yeah, this is the best one. Okay. So let's start with there we go. Eisner for best short story. I haven't heard of a lot of these, but we have Anything Sinister from Fantagraphics, Day 1703 from Desert Island, Pig by Fantagraphics, and that's probably one of the reasons I haven't heard of these because I don't read a lot of Fantagraphics. We do have Spaces by Phil Jimenez in the DC Pride 2024. That's one I have read. Water, I've loved Moving Day. What is this from? From Mother Magazine. And then You Cannot Live on Bread Alone. by from
Mothra?
Fantagraphics as well.
There are
Yeah,
three
Muthra.
from now number 13.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, this best short story. Like, I only know Spaces from the DC Pride anthology from last year.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have any knowledge on any of these? No, Wisdom could have just passed.
Nope.
Okay.
I
Jeff,
mean,
you want
Chris
to
Ware's
read?
Chris Ware's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I do like Chris Ware. Yeah.
You want to read best single issue one shot?
Yeah, I'm gonna read off my phone. We've got Abortion Pill Zine, a community guide to. I'm not gonna try to pronounce those. Mistepafrone. Ice Cream
never
Man
seen
number
The Pit.
39. That's right. I've never seen The Pit. Ice Cream Man number 39. Decompression in a Wreck Part 1. Pee Pee Poo Poo by Carolyn Cash. Sunflowers by Keezy Young. Unwholesome Love by Charles Burns. And War on Gaza by Joe Sacco from Fantagraphics.
Can I just ask a stupid question? This is best single issue or one shot, and Ice Cream Man number 39 is Decompression in a Wreck Part 1. So how does this qualify?
I think it's a one shot story. I think the part 1 is kind of playing around with the title. Because I did read it. Because after this, you get another one shot, and I agree with you. This is it is best single issue too, right? So
yeah,
they could just be grabbing a best single issue out of that. But I
Is
love
this the
Ice
one
Cream Man.
is this the one where they move into the house?
It's not. It's before that. If it's before that one, I think.
Okay.
It's really weird because like there was a run of Ice Cream Man that they were all little one shots that were really good, but also very depressing because they dealt with a lot of real world stuff. And just in a quick tangent, W. Maxwell Prince and Martin Morazzo will be doing a Superman book for DC Black
I
Label.
saw that. That's insane, and I am so excited for that.
So
that's awesome.
And also Chris O'Halloran, of who's the colorist. So the Ice Cream Man team is going to be doing a miniseries, and then of course
based on Kryptonite, like it's about the different shades of Kryptonite. I believe
the Kryptonite spectrum. It's called.
Right.
It's going to be very cool. Well, we're going to talk about it in the show for sure. And then Carolyn Cash, we read the Godzilla versus Chicago story that they did. I haven't read a lot of their work, but I hear great things about Pee Pee Poo Poo number 1.
I've heard good things about Pee Pee Poo Poo as well. Yeah, it keeps popping up in my news feed.
Yeah, and then I follow Keezy Young on Blue Sky, but I also don't know a lot about their work. I just really like their posts are very interesting. So, all right, Josh, you want to read Best Continuing Series?
Absolutely. All right, so we have The Department of Truth by James Tynion IV and Martin.
That's James Tynion on the phone for Josh.
Yeah, sorry. He said, say my name right. That's from Image. Detective Comics, Detective Comics by Ram V. A whole bunch of people. That's from DC. This one, I saw him announce on Threads. Very excited. Fantastic Four by Ryan North, Carlos Gomez, and others from Marvel. I hope that one wins. Santos Sisters by Greg and Fake. Floating World. Ultimate Spider-Man by Hickman. Marco Cicchetto and others. That's from Marvel. And then Wonder Woman by Tom King and Daniel Semperi. I should know how to pronounce his name. Okay.
This is a tough category because I read
very tough category.
I read all these except for Santos Sisters. I have read Santos Sisters in the past, but it doesn't come out. It comes out quarterly, I think, almost.
Yeah, Santos Sisters is like the one really oddball out of all of these because every single one of the, I mean, except for Department of Truth, which is in it. Well, first off, everything is Marvel DC except for Department of Truth.
Yeah.
And Santos Sisters. But yeah, Santos Sisters, I have like one issue of it that I picked up somewhere along the way, and I see it like very rarely.
Yeah, it's like a little fun play on like Archie comics, but it's about these two sisters that are kind of like the Hardy Boys or all those mystery solve, the Scooby-Doo gang, stuff like that, but in an Archie kind of style. Our friends over at Read Comic Books actually talked to both the creators, Greg and Fake. If you want to check that out. Josh, you want Fantastic Four to win?
I do. I do.
I'm torn between Spider-Man and Wonder Woman just because I love both of them. I mean, I also really like Fantastic Four.
Yeah, and you guys have all spoken highly about Ultimate Spidey and actually the whole current Ultimate run. I just haven't gotten into it because
those trades are coming
out of
out.
all of them. So I couldn't. The Rom V Detective Run, I couldn't get through it. I'm sorry. I apologize. I know it's loved and lauded. I couldn't do it. Department of Truth. I like James Tinian, and we'll get into his new book later on, which I absolutely love. Department of Truth I burned out on. I like Ultimate Spider-Man and Wonder Woman, but I feel like Fantastic Four really does deserve the win because I love he put so much like real life science into the books. You actually learn by reading the Fantastic Four.
And again, I can't speak for Ultimate Spidey. Might be like this, but out of all these books, Fantastic Four is the one you could hand someone any issue practically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they would just read it and enjoy it. I mean, except for like the few like two-parters in there, it feels like reading a classic comic, and I think that's a wonderful thing and should be lauded. So
yeah, even the tie-ins to the events feel like really fun standalone things.
Yeah.
All right. Best limited series, we have Alan Scott Green Lantern from DC Comics, Animal Pound from Boom Studios, The Deviant from Image, Helen of Windhorn from Dark Horse Comics, Rare Flavors from Boom Studios, and Satana Bring Down the House from DC Comics.
That's
another really tough category because I think I've read 4 out of these 6 books, and Rare Flavors is definitely on my list to read, as well as the Alan Scott Green Lantern book.
I like Rare Flavors for this only because it has recipes.
It's not just a comic; it's a cookbook. I agree. I will say that.
That's cool. I mean, I kind of want Helena Windhorn to win, but I also really want Zatanna to win because I thought that miniseries was great. So
I keep it close by all the time.
I love Javier Rodriguez art.
This is a hardcover. Yeah,
I need to pick up the hardcover.
Gorgeous. You do need to pick it up, Josh. I agree.
Helen of Windhorn upset me because I did not expect it to end at issue 5. And I was like, I strapped in for the long haul, and then at the end of issue 5 was like, and it's over. And so I was just like, I felt like it kicked the breath out of me, you know?
Yeah,
Tom King going like this.
Right.
right.
I 100% agree with you, Jeff. And that's kind of my complaint about a lot of series these days, is that it feels like they're going to be ongoing and then they just end. And
they said they will come back. Yeah, they will come back with more Helena Windhorn, but it won't be like this but this is a very much a a close story. I know.
Yeah, I feel like the industry is in a place where everything is a limited series.
I think that's a publisher thing because like publishers are like, you get 5 issues and that's it.
5 issues, or well, it used to be 6.
Now
it's 5. Except what threw me was Welcome to the Maynard, which was 4 issues. Yeah. Right? Like I finally read that 4th issue thinking there's going to be one more, and then it just ended, and I'm like, the fuck is this? So
hotels close all the time, Josh.
And my problem with the Deviant is that it's been coming out for the last 3 years.
But it's so good. It's like good. What if True Detective was even more fucked up? All right, Jeff, you want to hit best new series?
Best new series. Absolute Batman from DC Comics, Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta. Absolute Wonder Woman also from DC Comics by Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman. Minor Arcana from Boom Studios by Jeff Lemire. The Pedestrian from Magma Comics by Joey Esposito and Sean Von Gorman. The Power Fantasy from Image Comics by Kieran Gillen and Casper Wingard. And Uncanny Valley from Boom Studios by Tony Fleece and Dave Watcher.
Man, that is a tough category.
I know.
I am pleased the Pedestrian is in there. I know I didn't finish or read up to the current issue. But
you were the one reading that. That's right.
Yeah.
With it looks like somebody's like jogging towards you in the cover, right?
The cover of the first issue, which I noticed they also used for the collection, that cover should just win an award. It is so good. It's a great concept. So I'm really pleased to see that got a nom. Yeah. You guys have been raving about Uncanny Valley, or Jeff has, I guess.
I kind of petered out on it Like
Okay.
it kept going, and I
But
stopped
Jeff's
reading
still
it.
reading. You're reading the other one, right? It's the cats, the feral. I think that one you're
I'm
still
still reading
reading,
Feral, and I do
which
I
is by
like Tony
Tony Fleets
Fleece.
as well.
Is
Yeah,
that a
Yeah, Tony
spinoff,
Fleets is really.
or is it just two different
No, they're
books?
it's its own
different.
thing. It's
They're
its own
different.
thing.
Feral is more like
And,
Stray Dogs, which is also a Tony Fleets book.
and I guess I
Feral
need to finally just
Feral
bite the
is
bullet.
Walking Dead for cats.
Yeah.
One
I guess I
hundred
just need
percent.
to bite the bullet and read these fucking absolute books, huh?
Yeah,
Since they
I
got
think so.
I
two
love Absolute Wonder Woman. It is. I've not read everything on this list of the things
the
that I have. Absolute Wonder Woman is my favorite.
the trades should be coming out soon, Josh, for a lot of these.
Cool.
Or $10 a month gets you the DC Unlimited Ultra whatever membership. I know it's a lot, but if you get it for 1 month, catch up on a bunch of things and then drop it. Real quick from the Hudsonizer on the chat, I've got to read more comics. Yes, this list that we're talking about is a great recommendation list. Because these are like, and the Power Fantasy is freaking fantastic. I know people kind of blew it out of proportion as the next Watchmen after reading just the first issue, and we talked about it, and it's fantastic. And I've read the first volume, and it's really good. So yeah,
Anyone
we're
read
gonna skip. Yeah, go
Minor
ahead. I'll
Arcana?
find the next category in the meanwhile.
Yeah, I keep seeing it advertised and it looks interesting, and it is Jeff Lemire who I like, but I never
Minor
bought it.
Arcana.
Yeah,
Minor Arcana, really cool. All right, who's next? Josh, can you read Best
yeah, it's me.
Anthology?
Best anthology. Oh, first one, super hyped. I was gonna be pissed if none of these got a nom. So
Yeah.
EC Cruel Universe from Oni Press. Godzilla's 70th anniversary from IDW. Now the new comics anthology. Weirdly, only issue 13 has been getting all these noms. I don't know if it's because, like, did the previous issues come out years before? Maybe were they not?
They might
material?
be. Yeah, this might
Okay.
be like a long running series from Fantagraphics.
Yeah. All right. Peep number 1 from Brain Dead Kyle Ning.
NG. I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. So Buttons number 14, Life and Death from So Buttons Comics. So I've only read Cruel Universe, but I'm a huge, as you guys well know, I'm a huge fan of this EC revival. So
Same here.
yeah.
I also really love that for the anthologies, it's the editors that get that kind of get the spotlight. That's very, very cool. Yeah, definitely if Wonder Woman's a great place to start, either Absolute or the regular one.
Yeah,
you can now get your Wonder Woman in Absolute or regular, and they're both very good.
Even though I'm not reading Tom King's Wonder Woman, I follow him on Threads. One of the things he always does is he posts without permission art pages as they come in for upcoming issues without any like dialogue or like captions on them. So it's just like, here's a beautiful page from an upcoming issue. DC did not give me the rights to post this. And I'm always like, oh, maybe I should read this. So
yeah. All right.
Oh, wait, go back.
Which one? Did you want to do this?
Can I do the academic scholarly work? Okay, so again,
this is your one get in the show.
This is my one get. Again, I just want to give a plug for the fact that the Eisner's does this, right? So for best academic scholarly work, we have Comics and Modernism, History, Form, and Culture, edited by Jonathan Naharayan. Ooh, I'm sorry,
Naharayan, maybe?
From Mississippi Press, which has a great comic studies line. I need to read that book. It's in my to read list. Drawing in the Feminine, Bande Dessinée and Women, edited by Margaret C. Flynn from Ohio State.
From Ohio State University. I like the football players. Yeah.
They also have a really good comic studies line, but it's not as
if they presented the nominations like with the football players like that, that would be very interesting.
It would be. Would they pick the players from the classes they took with these academics?
No, I think it'd be funnier if it was the actual the professors or whoever's putting all this together, like the academics themselves, but they still go for it, doing the the cool football player
Like
stand.
University of Mississippi, and then he's there and he's like holding up the book.
Yeah, holding the book. Yeah.
Yeah. From Gum Wrappers to Richie Rich, The Materiality of Cheap Comics by Neil Barnholden, which I also need to read. This is all research related
Oh,
stuff.
that's also from Mississippi. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, they have a great line. These are all either Ohio State, Mississippi, and one from Rutgers.
Rutgers.
Petrochemical Fantasies: The Art and Energy of American Comics by Daniel Warden. That's Ohio State. Singular Sensations: A Cultural History of One-Panel Comics in the United States by Michelle Ann Abbott, Rutgers. I need to read that one too. So out of these, 5 nominations, 3 of them I need to read. So anyway.
Well, let us know. Keep us updated and let us know who you think is gonna win too if you read them before.
Ooh, yeah, honestly, that's a really tough one.
All right.
Jesus,
Well,
I don't know.
If you scroll back up one category, the best comics related books.
That's also
This is actually kind of this is also a good one because you've got best best comic book chronicles 1945 to 1949.
That's a great series.
Kate Caru's America's First Great Women Cartoonist.
Eddie
Q&A by Adrian Tomine or Tomine, drawn in Quarterly. Reading Love and Rockets by Mark Sobel. Love and Rockets is a long time great indie comic. Tell Me a Story Where the Bad Girl Wins: Life and Art of Barbara Sherman by Caitlin McGurk. Caitlin McGurk is on a show that YouTube show that I watch where they do Saturday morning cartoons on occasion, where they talk about like old Saturday morning cartoons and whatnot. She's great. And then Donald Duck: The Ultimate History by Daniel Kosenschulz.
I think that's Daniel Duck's pen name.
Yeah.
That's why the last name is so hard to pronounce because it's just Duck Speak.
Duck Speak.
Yeah. Okay.
That Donald Duck always gets those old Donald Duck comic strips always get a lot of those are lauded by cartoonists.
We have some web
best writer.
Okay, here we go. Best writer. I'll go to best writer since you guys just intervened there.
All right, we totally threw off the order.
No, it's fine. There's no order here. This is chaos. This is how this show is run by chaos and whatever fumes of effort we can muster on Saturday mornings. All right, best writer. We have Tom King, who's written things like Archie, Animal Pound, Helena Windhorn. You know Tom King. We also have Ram B, Rare Flavors, Dawn Runner. We also have Kelly Thompson, Absolute Wonder Woman, Scarlet, Venom War. She's also doing Birds of Prey. James Tynion the Fourth, writing half of the comics on your shelf. And Jean Lune Young who wrote the Lunar New Year love story. First Second also did a lot of really cool stuff. I think Gene also adapted the Superman Fights the Klan book from the radio show.
Yeah.
This is, and there's so many other writers that should probably be called out here as well. But man, oh man, what a tough category.
What an interesting. So it's just like a cool accumulation of everything they've written for the year, I guess, and they're like, well, these are the best.
Well, but
I guess so.
Kelly Thompson's writing Black Cloak. They didn't refer to that, right?
I guess maybe that was on hiatus for the period, or maybe they just put in as many things as they can, right?
Yeah, it could be.
Just
But I do find this list a little frustrating, honestly, because first off, where the hell is Ryan North? Personally, right? That dude is currently carrying,
Marvel. Yeah. Mark Waid. Where's Mark Waid?
Where's Mark Waid?
He's the architect of the DC universe right now.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
It's tough. We should put our own Eisners together.
Yes,
exactly. We'll call them the real Eisners. With no credentials, no recognition. We're just going rogue. The way comics
we're gonna spell it Eyezner.
We're just gonna replace the S's with
Eisner. Yeah. It's based off this guy we know, Gil Eisner.
There's your name for your character.
That's pretty good. I mean, Gil's definitely pretty good. I don't know about Eisner's, but all right. Jeff, you want to hit best writer artist?
Best writer artist, we've got Charles Burns, Comics, Fantagraphics, Final Cut, Pantheon, Unwholesome
Oh,
Love, co-published with his partners and sons. Emil Ferris, my
oh
favorite thing is
yeah.
Monsters Book 2 from Fantagraphics,
Oh,
which I see in the stores all the time. I've not read it though.
So good. So good.
John Macy, Juna, Street Noise Books, Paco Roca, Return to Eden, Fantagraphics, Oliver Schwarin, Sunday, Fantagraphics, Maria Sweeney, Brittle Joints, Street Noise Books. I'm not familiar with any of these.
other than
My
outside of
takeaway
Charles
from
Burns and
this-
Emma Ferris, I'm not very familiar.
Yeah. My takeaway from this is I need to read. I need to look into Street Noise books because if you look at the list, everything is Fantagraphics, and two of them are Street Noise books. So
These are like the indie of indie comics. Like this is
Mhm.
another degree removed of indie comics. These are very much like either self-published people that eventually get with a publisher like Fantagraphics or First Second or Street Noise, somebody like that.
I will say if Emil Ferris does not win this, I will have a shit fit.
I mean, they worked on that book forever, right? They worked on that book forever and ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 volumes. You can now read the complete thing, and it's fucking amazing. Yeah. It's so good.
Do they stream the Eisners now?
Sometimes they do.
So.
I think
do
so.
they? Okay.
Sometimes they do on the San Diego Comic Con YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
So at least they did. I think they started after COVID, and they just kind of kept doing it because they're like, "Oh, people will watch this." Okay. All right. Josh, you want to hit best penciler / inker or penciler inker team?
You son of a bitch. Okay, let's see if I can pronounce any of these. For best penciler,
these are pretty tough. I'm not gonna lie.
Jesus Christ. Felipe Andrade for Rare Flavors, Boom Studios. Nick Dracata for Absolute Batman, DC. Please jump in and correct my pronunciation on any of these, you guys. Bilquis Evely for Helen of Windhorn, which, so good. Manu Larsenet for The Road. That's from Abrams Comics Arts. Javier Rodriguez for Zatanna Bring Down the House from DC. And Lewin Pham for Lunar New Year Love Story from First Second.
Which I think is the Yin Yu Yang book that we talked about earlier. So
right.
I'm glad that must be a really good book if they both got nominated for it.
This is a hard one because I kind of want Emily to win, and I kind of want.
Yeah, me too. I'm a little biased. I love her artwork.
Yeah, but I did love Rodriguez's work on Zatanna. It was really good.
And Andrade's work.
I can't wait till Jim Lee's back out here next year.
With
Jim
Hush
Lee and Scott
too.
Williams. Hush 2.
Jim Lee, Scott Williams. Hush 2.
You know what? Wait, this is really weird because it's best penciler inker or penciler inker team. There's not a single team on here. Well, it's just penciler inker.
Well, those teams need to get good. I guess it also tells you a little bit about maybe one person doing both things is more cohesive and gives you a better product. Unless you are,
you don't seem to be like
working forever.
Yeah. There's not the inkers aren't like most artists. I feel like the industry has shifted to having just one person do art.
Yeah,
like an artist kind of thing.
That makes sense. I can imagine a lot of these Jim Lee because he's got that inker he always works with.
Scott Williams, thank you. I hope Klaus Johnson still has work.
Yeah.
God, is he still alive? Do I need to Google this?
No, he's still alive. He's still alive. Yeah, he's still alive. All right, best cover artist.
Ooh,
Juni Ba for The Boy Wonder.
Those are great covers. Great covers.
Juni Ba, great cover artist. I mean, great interior artist too. But Evan Cagle, Don Orner, New Gods, Bill Evely. I mean, I don't know how many times you need me to pull this book out.
Does it sit next to your Blu-ray copy of the Snyder Cut?
It has replaced it because that's in the other desk.
Ah, gotcha.
The one that I don't use to stream. Tula Lote. I mean, I buy almost every Tula Lote cover.
I do
find,
too.
So I get it.
Yeah.
And Hayden Sherman. This is tough. This
That
is a
is
tough
tough.
one. I might have to choose either Evely or Kegel. Like they're just, even though I buy more Lotte and Sherman covers, just because they do more stuff, they're more prolific.
I like Judy Ba. I love all those Judy Ba
I do
Little
like
Wonder
Judy Ba,
covers.
yeah.
They're very weird. Monkey meat, all that stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, Jeff, you want to hit coloring?
Yeah, sure. Best coloring, Jordi
And you don't have to read
Belair.
all the titles.
Let's go through it all. Jordi Belair, Mateus Lopes, Justin Prokowicz, Javier Rodriguez, coloring all his own stuff. Dave Stewart and
Coloring all of
Quinton.
Magnola's stuff.
Yeah, 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 coloring all of Magnolia stuff. And Quentin Zutian, who I've never heard
That
of.
one I had not heard
Yeah, me
of.
neither.
I have heard of the Jimi Hendrix book, and the art looks pretty cool. You can, if you can't find it at your store, you can borrow it from Hoopla. That's where I checked it out.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yeah.
I do like it when Jordi Belair colors a thing.
Yeah, same.
Jordi Belair. I mean, just look at all the titles that she. I don't know how you do something. I don't know how
Well,
you're that prolific with coloring.
You know, it only has G.I. Joe and Duke, but I feel like she's doing that half of the Energon stuff. So,
Mm-hmm. All right, hit best lettering for us, Josh, and I think we might do the Hall of Fame nominees, and that's it, probably.
okay, yeah. Best lettering, we have Becca Carey, Leela Corman, Clayton Cowles, Emil Ferris, and Nate Powell. I did that pretty
Interestingly enough, no Hassan Otsmane Elhau, who's usually a fixture. Also, Stan Sakai, usually a fixture in lettering.
Interesting.
Just because he's so, I mean, Sakai is like, I don't know, like legend. So, all right. And then we have the nominees. So 6 of these nominees will go into the Hall of Fame for the Eisners. Out of these 18 people, we have Alfredo Alcala, Kyle Baker. Let me know if you've heard of any of these. I know I've heard of Kyle Baker.
I love Kyle Baker. I hope he gets in.
Bob
Bowling.
Bob Bowling.
Yeah.
Bob Bowling.
Eddie Campbell.
Oh, God, these are all good. Ross Chaz.
Dan Klaus. That one I've heard of for sure. Mark Evanier.
Still
Mike
going.
Friedrich. Don Heck, who's passed away. Junji Ito.
Oh, that's nice. Wow.
Goat.
God, can you imagine if Junji Ito gets in?
Yeah, that would be a scary Eisners. Ben Ketchor, Todd Klein, Peter Cooper, Lee Mars, John Romita Jr. Wow. Posey Simmons. It's crazy to see people that are still working here.
Yeah.
On this list.
I wonder what
Leonard Starr. Yeah.
Requirements are. I'd have to go back and read.
Yeah, like how many years out of the WWE do you have to be considered
right.
you know? And Rick Veit. So
Veit.
So the judges choose 21 inductees for the Hall of Fame.
Man, that's a tough one. That's a really good
here's
list.
the judges. So all right.
Rob Liefeld.
They said once he can figure out the feet, they'll let him.
Right.
Well, there you have it. Those are your Eisner nominees for 2025. Some of them, we hit some of the big categories. But like I said, just look at this list as a recommended list. Like if somebody missed out, if a book that you love is not part of this, just show them some love. But still, go check out these books. Even Josh's dogs are not. They must be upset about somebody missing out.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know who's the dog reading over there, Josh?
Sorry, I muted so you wouldn't hear him. Yeah.
Are they reading Feral? They like the book about cats.
Feral.
They just keep barking at the cats.
Sorry.
Someone's doing yard work next door, and I think the dogs keep barking at them when they see them. So.
Oh, you know what? They probably like Animal Pound. Yeah. That's who they're rooting for. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Tom King, really depressing book, but it's great. All right, let's move on.